The doubts started flaring up when I had my first job, because now I was in a company that was supposed to be one of the evil companies. So we were taught the banks, the insurance companies, and the companies that are part of the military-industrial complex were the most evil capitalist enterprises. So I'm starting my job at MetLife as a programmer, and within about a month, I get to do the programming. Man, and I love this. This was so much fun. For the first time, I could use my very active mind to create something, right? And I loved it. It was logic but what created the doubt in me, the company was very good to us. We had free lunch, and if you wanted to, you could have free dinner and free breakfast too. The pay was pretty darn good, and my bosses were incredibly appreciative of what I was able to do. They were very nice. So now I'm thinking, so where's all the evil people? You know, and MetLife, within a year or two, felt like I'm back home, because it was like the way I was brought up. I was a privileged child of a communist regime, and I knew if I did a good job, they would take care of me until the end of my days. And the paternalistic or maternalistic type company that insurance companies were in those days promised you the same thing.
Yeah.
You start here, you get a job for life, and then you retire with a nice pension and a gold watch, and we'll take care of you. So I said, wait a minute, something does not compute. And without knowing it, I wandered from communism to sort of socialism, or very similar to the way actually Western Europe operated when socialist parties were in power. Sort of a welfare state, right? And interestingly enough, and unbeknownst to me at the time, the socialist parties of Europe had developed a theory called convergence theory. That means that communism and capitalism would converge as one and become like sort of this welfare state type of entity. And even more interestingly, on my last visit to Moscow, which was in 1986, the liaison that I had at the time, he gathered me from the airport. We get into one of those limos, the KGB limos, and he volunteers that he's a believer in the convergence theory. Now, this guy was not an independent thinker, so that theory must have taken hold, at least in parts, of the KGB. And when you look at what Gorbachev spouted once he was firmly entrenched, it got pretty close to that. Apparent. So the communist system was softening, and there were two ways to go. Staying hardline and falling apart, or trying to sort of get to a point where it's becoming a nicer, better place to live with some freedom and a lot of welfare from the top. Well, you know what happened? Communism exploded and fell apart.